What is good, boys and girls? Welcome to today's market recap. Today is January 20th, 2026. I'll go over today's price action, possible trades, right? Daily buys, all that good stuff. There was a few possible trade entries that did present themselves. I didn't enter, and I'll explain why in a second. First and foremost, let's just go over our daily buys real quick. So, marking out our buy side liquidity, I had a unfilled 15-minute gap right here, which was also a devil's mark right above. Let's go ahead and see, right? So we had a devil's mark on the 15-minute. It was also an unfilled 15-minute gap. We had an unfilled hourly resting right here as well. Along with that, it was also an entry point to an unfilled 4-hour. There was an unfilled 4-hour right there. So that was all my buy side draws along with this new week opening gap. This was really my main draw if we were going to be bullish on the day. And then coming over here on the sell side, we had this unfilled hourly, right? Resting right here. We had this unfilled 4-hour with this, and then we just had like previous week lows, whatever. I just marked out sell side just in case if we started just running through everything, we can use that as a target. I wasn't really anticipating on price to come all the way down here. But if we did, then we would already had it marked out. So like I said, coming into this morning, I was leaning a little bit bearish just because we were just disrespecting bullish PD rays and just respecting bearish PD rays, right? What is going on in this general area? Well, we just create a whole bunch of 1 hour and 15-minute gaps. My main condition coming into this morning was this 4-hour. So right where this hourly is, I wanted to see 9:30 open. We open high into that 4-hour, and then we can possibly catch shorts towards all this LR right here and this unfilled 15-minute. I was more so bearish until we hit like this 15-minute gap, and then I kind of wanted to see a rejection towards new week opening gap. Again, I wasn't really anticipating on price coming all the way down here. I more so just wanted to see all this LR get taken out. So right at market open, we pump higher and hit this hourly, and I'm like, awesome, this is exactly what I want to see, right? We create this hourly, we're about to hit this 15-minute. Let's hit this 15-minute and then reject it. Now, along with the 15-minute, we also had a devil's mark 5-minute right here. I don't know if we ended up hitting that. I think we ended up hitting it perfectly though. Let's take a look. Yeah, it looks like we ended up hitting it perfectly. And then rejecting it. So this is exactly what I want to see. And at this point in time, I was looking for shorts somewhere in here. So it was either we get a resweep, and I can possibly look for something like this, right? We get a resweep and then an inversion somewhere in this leg, and I can look for shorts somewhere down here, targeting like all this LR, this unfilled 5-minute, whatever. Or then again, this is what I'm thinking at this point in time. We get this 5-minute right here, both of these 5 minutes to open up, and we run right through them. Now, at this point in time, I wasn't leaning bullish because oh my God, we're fucking rejecting this hourly, rejecting this 15-minute, rejecting this 5-minute. And again, this hourly was in the same spot as a 4-hour. So we have all these bearish PD rays and along with all this LR below us. So I'm like, okay, let's get an inversion, maybe catch a continuation short. We do a nice to be catch a PDI short, whatever. We end up coming and tapping into this 5-minute for value gap right here. And then we get a 1-minute inversion out of it right here. Now this doesn't look too bad, right? Because the narrative probably on the week is we're going to go to this new week opening gap right here. So this doesn't look too bad. If you want to extend OTP clip, it would look something like this. However, your trade idea would look relatively something like this, right? We get the 1-minute inversion right here. This 1 minute doesn't look too bad. Now, at this point in time, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I didn't even see this because I was more so looking still for shorts. I wanted to see those PDI shorts down towards all those LR right here. Plus, we left this 5-minute. Now, I don't think that matters because ES, I think, ended up coming and hitting that 5-minute. So we had a SMT there, I believe. Let's take a look. No, it doesn't look like ES hit the discounted 5-minute either. So we had an unfilled 15-minute right here. We had these 5-minute intermediate lows, which would have gave us a good break-even point. So like I said, what I'm looking for now is just a resweep of these highs and then a PDI short. And we can use this as like a break-even point. We can use this 5-minute as a take profit, whatever the case may be. This trade ended up failing. ES ended up taking out the internal high first. There it is right there. Okay, so you would have break even at this point in time. How does that end up playing out? You would have got break even on this trade because you would have had an SMT at your take profit. If you would have held, it would have ended up playing out. But again, I didn't like this specifically for the fact that we were just rejecting stuff to the left of us. Now, at this point in time, I was like, all right, this is fucking perfect. All right, we got a resweep inside of all these fair value gaps right here. All right, we have an hourly, 4-hour, 15-minute, 5-minute. But at this point in time, it's 9:51, and I know that 4-hour is a super small fair value gap. So now I'm using this 4-hour as my condition. If we can inverse it, okay, I'm probably going to flip my bias bullish if we start respecting conditions. Or if we want to remain bearish, we can just start disrespecting this 5 and 15-minute gap that's about to open up right here. So at this point in time, I'm like, cool, I'm down to take a short. We have a 2-minute right here. Right, we got a resweep of these highs, no SMT, but it's completely fine. We have like this mini AMD model that got cooked up. Okay, here's our accumulation zone. Manipulate higher into these fair value gaps. What do I want to see now? I want to see this 2-minute get inverted. Why didn't I take this 2-minute inversion? I had it marked out and everything. I was ready to press buy. Look how many fucking candles it's taking to do so. Now, we had this crazy wick right here at 9:58. And if this would have swept out this high, it would have created an SMT, because what is ES doing? ES had that crazy wick inside of this gap. So we would have had an SMT looking something like this. Okay. And it would have been another confluence for me to go ahead and short this. Now, it would have been a lot more probable if we got that SMT and then got this 2-minute inversion right here with this candle. However, since we've left relatively equal highs, I did not want that resting at my stop loss. My stop loss would have been like somewhere right here, and my TP would have been somewhere like right here, this unfilled 5-minute, or if I even wanted to hold to this 15-minute all the way down here, I definitely would have took partials at that 5-minute though. Our trade idea could have looked something like this. However, I didn't want these relative equal highs at my stop loss, so I just sat out the trade. Now I was perfectly fine with it running. Now at this point in time, what time is it? It's 10:02. We just inversed that 4-hour to the left of us. Here's this 6 a.m. candle. Look, we just inversed this 4-hour to the left of us. So now it no longer means anything to me, right? Now I'm kind of like flipping my bias more bullish. I'm like, okay, what do we have in this general area over here? What do we end up creating? We end up creating a 15-minute bullish for value gap. And on top of that bullish for value gap, we still have this 5-minute resting underneath. So I'm like, okay, if we can come down and hit one of these, I'm fine with entering long. And the 15-minute was like right here. I'm fine with entering longs off of this, and we can target that new week opening gap. And now I switch my bias, because even though we're still respecting these gaps to the left of us, we inversed that 4-hour, and that was more so my condition rather than these smaller gaps to the left. So now these no longer mean anything to me. We have relatively low highs, which is giving me a good draw on liquidity. That's also what really did. It was more so the draw. Okay, what ends up happening? We end up just kind of chopping down, creating a whole bunch of LR. Now we're inside of this 15-minute. Awesome, we're inside of this 15-minute, but I don't see an entry yet. Okay. Don't see an entry yet. Don't see an entry yet. What's going on? All of a sudden, we get it just Drake to the upside at 10:20. And I'm like, okay, this looks good. Maybe if there was like a 30-second somewhere in here, maybe if there was a 1-minute, this would have looked phenomenal, right? We have a SMT with these 5-minute intermediate lows right here. Here's ES, right? We have SMT with these 5-minute intermediate lows. ES came down and it actually inversed this 5-minute gap back to the downside, but I wasn't too worried about it because we were still respecting this 15-minute, okay? On top of that, we had a SMT. Not only that, but we had an internal SMT on the 1-minute, right? These 10:20 lows came and swept out these 10:09 lows. These 10:20 lows did not sweep out these 10:09 lows on ES, okay? At this point in time, I really, really, really wanted longs. It was more so just towards this DOL right here. I wasn't going to hold toward the new week opening gap, but this draw looked really, really nice, okay? Trade idea would have looked something like this if we had like a 30-second, 1-minute. Say we got a relatively good candle closure. Trade idea would have looked something like this. Now, this doesn't look too bad. However, we don't end up getting that. There was no 30-second. There was no 1-minute. We just ended up running higher and higher and higher. We end up taking out the draw, and we don't really do anything until about 11 o'clock. So let's go fast forward to 11 o'clock. And there was one more trade idea that you could have took. What ends up happening? Okay. What did we leave? We're leaving relatively equal highs with more. These highs don't really matter. It's more so this high up here. But right, we have this high now. We have this high. Cool. We have relatively equal highs that are resting above. We have like this high over here that are equal. Okay. And then we have finally our new week opening gap, which is all the way up here. So at this point in time, I'm looking for longs, right? And I wasn't on the markets, but I did come back on and I looked at this. So I would have been looking for longs in this scenario, right? We're just completely just disrespecting bearish peak raise, respecting bullish at this point now. What do we get? We get a tap into this 5-minute. Boom. Get a 5-minute inversion out of it. Here's our bearish value gap that we're leading or waiting to get inverse. What happens with the next candle? Boom, 5-minute inversion. You can go ahead, enter off this. This trade idea didn't look bad at all. It happened a little bit later in the day, but it didn't look bad. Stops would have been somewhere around this area. TP could have been right here or even up here. I don't know if this ended up playing out. I definitely know this first TP got hit, so you could have just aimed for just about a 1-to-1, maybe a little bit past it for a 1-to-1. Let's see if this ended up hitting. Let's go down to the 1-minute. Doesn't look too bad. Your trade idea would be somewhere like in here. Boom, TP hit, 1-to-1 hit. Awesome. Done for the day after that. And now I don't really know what ended up happening after that. I don't really think anything. Yeah, we're kind of just chopping around. None of this looks fucking good at all. So those were really the only 3 trades I had today. I had a bearish bias coming in just because we were respecting very speedy raise coming into this morning, and then we ended up inversing that 4 hour back to the upside, so I ended up flipping my bias. So yeah, that was really my thought process today. That 1 minute, the first trade I went over didn't look too bad, but like I said, I was leaning more bearish at that point in time. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead, leave them in the comments. Free Discord, link in the description. And then if you want to up your allocation, Lucid Trade just dropped a new, what's it called, a new plan, I guess you can say. It's called Lucid Black. Go check it out. Super nice rules. Link in the description for that as well. It's 40% off if you use my code. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow.